Your favorite Compas are back with another action-packed episode of Lunes Live. We'll recap our weekend in Las Vegas for the Canelo Munguia fight. We will also have a little recap of UFC 301 and obviously WWE Backlash from Lyon. Plus, Vic, the producer, will join us on NFL Rapid Fire. And with no Dan and Dago this week, 10 good minutes will feature us being asked questions by Vic, the producer. Lastly, we cap off the show with Una Mas. But Gilbert, don't you have a question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, I do, but I thought you were going to speak in French, Fernando, after watching the WWE Backlash in France.
I got something.
Oh, okay.
I got something. Oh, yeah.
Because you're practicing how to count 1 to 10 and in the car on the road.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where I stopped.
We'll give you another opportunity. But it's time for the engagement question of the week. And yes, we are back from Las Vegas, Sin City, another comeback sparring event for your boys, your compas here on the network. Canelo Alvarez defeated Jaime Munguia in a Mexican brawl. I thought the fight was very entertaining. Yes, it was one-sided after the 6th round. I felt like it was kind of over. Munguia, heart of a champion, heart of a Mexican. He was definitely out there and gaining a lot of respect. But time to move on. You know, in boxing is who are you going to fight next? So the question for the engagement question of the week: will Canelo Alvarez fight David Benavidez next, or will he? Can you do a pato sound if you want, real quick? I don't know what the hell that was, but let me know in the comments. Will Canelo fight David Benavidez next September, or will he do a pato sound again?
Oh, so you wanted me to do the Mighty Ducks quack?
Okay, do that. But no, that was more like
quack, Ducks.
That's a confident team that won. They won championships, right? I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, they did.
But you need to have like a scared dog.
Bro, they beat Iceland to win the U.S. game.
Oh, yeah. So they're world champions.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
That's the question. Answer it. Let us know if you're watching on YouTube, Instagram. Shout out to Instagram followers. We're going to get to that in a minute. But TikTok, wherever you're watching this video, because our social media coordinator extraordinaire, Dan and Dago, who will not be here, we'll clip it out for you guys to comment.
Yeah, no, that is very sad. But all right, let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah,
we
go.
There you go.
Hey. There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7-rounder. So
freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
I still laugh at that Star Wars one. That one's hilarious. But welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Montano. He covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? A lot of people are watching Compas on the Beat. Derwin James said it. Watch Compas on the Beat. Ryan Garcia said it. Compas on the Beat. Let's get it. And what a great, productive, amazing weekend in Las Vegas. It was a wild 24 hours, Fernando. I picked you up at 6 a.m. from the station in LA. 7 a.m.
Car said 6 a.m. So
I woke up.
I thought it was 6 a.m.
I still haven't changed the hour. I know it bothers you. I woke up by 6 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning. Got to pick you up. What a wild 24 hours. We came back home. We left at 6 a.m. or 6:30 from Las Vegas. But yeah.
So there was a time where my mom had to take my car to work. This was years ago, back when I was in community college. And one day I honestly, at first I thought that was a kid, but obviously that's a cat. So she's driving and she looks at my clock and she's driving to work like a maniac. She gets to work. She gets down. She runs into the building and they're like, "What's the matter?" She's like, "Well, it's what did she say?" She's like, "It's 7:59. I had to get to work before 8 o'clock." They're like, "Maria, it's 7:45 or 7. It's 7:40." She's like, "Wait, what?" And she goes out to look at my car. I had my clock always 20 minutes ahead. just in case I could be like, oh, I have that cushion. She like was so mad that day. Like she did not speak to me all weekend because I made her because she went ballistic on the road. So yeah, that was
not a bad idea, but I feel like the rule is like 10 minutes, 20 you're pushing it. I have an hour, that's definitely pushing it. But
yours is crazy. But Gilbert, you mentioned it. We were there this weekend. The reason why I had to take the 4 a.m. What's it called? The 4 a.m. train was because Gilbert and I got an email on Thursday saying, hey, Gervonta Davis is going to have a press conference on Saturday at 12 p.m., which is smart, Gilbert. Obviously, you take advantage of everybody being there for the Canelo fight. So we go to the Gervonta Davis, David Benavidez, and then obviously you get David Benavidez, who's fighting at night, Canelo. So obviously we decided to kill two birds with one stone. Well, three, because we got to see Adam Hill, our boy, our compa as well. But yeah, Gilbert, you mentioned it. Great stuff. We got a lot of great content. Gervonta was out there. I was definitely interested to see that. But just Gilbert overall, I thought it was very interesting to see how everything kind of fell together, and we saw Sebastian, our compa, as well. So it was, and then who did I sit next to, Gilbert?
Oh yeah, Booker T, the spinneroonie. I'm surprised you didn't ask him.
By the way, I know I did, but he kind of like just walked right by me. But when he was walking by, I was like, excuse me, peasants, move along for King Booker. And he turns and looks at me and goes, yes, King is coming across. And then I just started laughing. I was like, some guy goes, why are you calling him King Booker? I was like, oh, he's an ex-WWE wrestler. Like, that was his gimmick. People. And then they just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, because I was like, peasants, everybody move aside for King Booker. And he loved that. So, but yeah, when I asked him, hey, can we get you? He's like, he just kept on walking along, and I was like, dang, all right.
Hey, you tried to make it happen. We appreciate that on the network, and we'll get
him soon.
We will. But I appreciate everybody here who's watching the content the last 3-4 years, or even the last 24 hours, because it's been an exciting time for Compas on the Beat, because the IG channel or the IG profile page, got a bunch of followers over the weekend. The YouTube page, or the YouTube channel, I'm getting confused now, channel, profile, whatever. The YouTube channel is getting a lot of subscribers. We just surpassed 7,000 subscribers, 7,000 followers on IG. So you haven't done so, go follow us on
7,500.
7,500 at Compas on the Beat. There you go. Check us out there. And it's been pretty cool to see the support. Everybody watching the videos, people commenting, doing the polls. It's been pretty cool. 48 hours for the network here.
Gilbert wants to go to Hong Kong talking about polls. So obviously, that's
somebody else or a lot of other people. I won't name names.
Hey, so if I got this correctly,
that was a good joke by you, because Tom Brady's roast. I saw the highlights, and you got to be very good with the setup and the punchline. You got to.
Oh, that's why exactly. So I mean, I'm very good at all that stuff. Sometimes my jokes aren't taken that way. I mean, I've gotten in trouble a couple of times, but hey,
just don't be like Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman a little bit.
Oh, you thought so? I thought it was all hilarious.
Well, you have to explain the joke.
Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought, but yeah, no, I definitely, the punchline has to be there. But
no pun.
I can't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, no, it was definitely a good event. Obviously, I had never experienced. I've experienced boxing in LA, boxing in Brooklyn, and boxing now in Vegas. So it's definitely been interesting, to say the least.
You might need just need Texas, and you're pretty much set, or at least for the U.S. tour.
Hey, there's a fight there in July.
Get out of here.
Why?
It's not a real fight, but I guess it is a real fight according to the eyes of the Texans.
By the way, obviously, Canelo Alvarez beats Jaime Munguia, an up-and-comer, in unanimous decision, 12th round. They won all 12 rounds. Obviously, that's a Canelo kind of MO. Like, he goes to 12 rounds. It gives you the people what they want. I had written that if Canelo was going to be asked about Benavidez, and he was going to say, well, if that's what the people want. But actually, no. I'll tell you one thing, Gilbert. He was not only defensive in the ring, he was defensive out of it. because he was asked that question. He's like, well, everybody always says that I duck boxers, but I've fought them all, everybody that they put in front of me. But then you talk to David Benavidez, and he said, no, he's been dodging me for 3 years now, and they keep on making up all these fake rules that I have to do. So it's kind of like, okay, so who's right? Who's the one telling the truth when it comes to both of you? Because Canelo says, by the way, I don't think Canelo's going to fight him in September. I think Canelo's going to be eyeing that fight later in December and against Terence Crawford, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know if Canelo fights September weekend, because that weekend or Mexican Independence. By the way, yesterday was a fake holiday, so for all these morons saying Happy Independence Day to Mexico, great job, I'm like, you guys are morons. Go look up what happened on
burial of the week.
De Mayo. Yeah, no, and every year it's the same burial that I've had for years now, but around this day. So go look up what actually happened. But that weekend is going to be the Sphere, UFC 306 or something like that. It's going to be Sugar Sean O'Malley against Islam, supposedly. So I just don't know if Canelo's going to want to compete with that.
I don't know if I believe those rumors just yet, Fernando, but you got to hold on to your horses. You went from Cinco de Mayo to Mexican Independence.
I'm jumping around.
Can I at least talk about the fight before you talk about what's next? Can I drop some on?
Yeah. So I'm gonna set it up for you. So obviously, Canelo was at the beginning. Jaime Munguia kind of first 3-4 rounds, and then the knockdown happened in the 4th round, and it's kind of that's where I think the balloon burst, and then Canelo kind of took control. But Gilbert, what did you see from their fight on Saturday?
It went as I expected. I thought maybe Munguia would do a little more damage, but you could tell by the second half of the fight that he just didn't have enough power. You know, I knew he didn't have the strongest punch, but I figured, you know what, his punch volume, his solid chin, just being aggressive, come for a fighter, and being younger, and maybe a little bigger than Canelo. I thought it could make it an interesting fight. And he came out pretty strong in the first 3 rounds. And then there was a couple of times where he's touching up Canelo, but Canelo's a great counter puncher. He has great timing. And I kept seeing, I don't like when people do the cross sporting thing, but everybody kept talking about doesn't have the same fastball, but he's doing more changeups ball to get away from baseball terms. Like, he knows how to pick apart people, body shots, the uppercut, hooks, anything you could think of. He has it. And that's why I always give Canelo credits on 2 areas: the best chin in the game and the best combos in the game. People, other than Gervonta Davis, nobody has an uppercut like Canelo Alvarez, and that uppercut got him in the 4th round, right hand, and then he still had a body punch to add insult to injury. So he's just on a different level. I love that it was a brawl, Cinco de Mayo, and Canelo added another meme or viral video. I'm Mexican. I do what I want. I run this show here. So I love that from Canelo. He might not be the same fighter, but when it comes to 168 pounds, he is the best of the best. When you get up to 175, Bivol, David Benavidez, that's a different story. 168, nobody's touching that guy. And Fernando, if David Benavidez comes down to 168, I'm telling you right now, he won't win. He's going to be drained. Too much of a weight cut. He's going up to 175, and that is my concern right there. But Canelo, 168, he's a king.
His own made-up division. He's king. That's 100%
it's not made up. It's super middleweight. That's a real division. Now, we're talking about a catchweight. That's made up. But I am concerned that David Benavidez, he couldn't wait. You can ask me that question if you want. He couldn't wait at 168, and he just got too heavy, got too big. Now he's at 175, 174. So I am worried about the weight classes.
I did see. I was kind of. No diddy. I was kind of checking him out to see like what body size, everything. I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's way too. Because even Munguia was taller than Canelo. Like, he is longer and everything. I'm like, yeah, no, I just don't see it happening. Delbert, we actually have something on that. Real quick, Ivan. Hola, Ivan. He said, please post on Spotify. We will get that done. We appreciate you.
We've been lagging it. Sorry, Ivan. I'm not gonna deny that. We've been lagging it.
Yeah. Canelo will never give Benavidez the satisfaction. Did you see the monster great finish at the Kentucky Derby? At the Kentucky Derby. I'm over here jumping around talking about boxing fights that are going to happen later, and we're talking about the Kentucky. The national anthem was better than the undercard.
Hey, Fernando, you did not experience the double, or I guess it would be one anthem because I don't know what Ryan Garcia claims, or mostly United States, not Mexico. But you would have got the anthem in Brooklyn. They skipped the anthem. That's how
Yeah, they didn't
behind
do
they
it for
were.
either
I was like,
one.
what the hell? This is boxing. This is a big
Yeah.
main event. Give me the damn anthem. I'm not on deadline. Give me the anthem. They didn't give it to us. Vegas always does it right. You got the
Yeah.
double anthem, the Mexico anthem, and the United States, and that's some of the best time. And when I cover this sport, as a sports journalist, there's no better feeling than that double anthem. You hate the deadline, but you love it for the chills and the excitement. You got to pinch yourself like, oh crap, we're here at a fight night.
I was watching when Mikades was doing the national anthem. I was looking around and I could see I knew what I was gonna see. Everybody, the whole stadium, Mexicanos al grito de guerra, and then it went silent because nobody knows what
After
the
that
hell
part,
goes
right?
on
Yeah.
after that. And then obviously the y retiemblan sus centros,
they come
and then
back to
everybody was chanting, and then it goes down.
and
I'm
it's like,
like,
is it like this or like
I'm like,
this?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, you guys are a damn wave. You guys know the catchphrases, but you guys don't know the stuff that comes after that. But yeah, no, I definitely I'm interested to see what happens next because obviously there's rumors now. It said ESPN put out Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is being potentially eyed for December/January by His Excellency, whatever Turkey. I
don't know if it's Turkey, but yeah, I
Turkey.
There you go.
I'm working to deliver Canelo, but it will be a big fight for Crawford. I'll discuss the names with him. So, I don't see Canelo going to Saudi to go fight. I think it would have to be here. But yeah, that's the thing. They would have to.
They have the biggest purse in all of combat.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. They would have to hit like probably 3 to get Canelo to go all the way out.
300 million?
I think so.
Oh,
2 or 3.
He will definitely take that.
Yeah,
remember, he said, "Hey, if you give me 200 million to fight Benavidez, I'll do it."
I'm interested to see what the crowd would look like, though. And I mean, we're obviously jumping out, but do you think if that happens December or January, do you think he fights in between, or do you think he just kind of, just
okay? You know what? Here's what you got me thinking a little more. I don't like the Terence Crawford fight. Yes, they're both superstars, but one is
Canelo
at 147 and then was 168. That's 21-pound difference. What the hell? There's weight class for a reason. I get that fights for casuals, but not for me. Like, what the hell? Like, I still will, put my money on Canelo Alvarez. I don't care what, he's not gonna, like, when you get heavy, like when you're bigger, it's hard for you to come down. That's why everybody's complaining about Ryan Garcia being drained.
I would know.
Like, you could, okay, there you go, Fernando, and you've done a good job about that. But to go up, it's a little easier, but then your power doesn't carry. You're messing with a bigger guy. And I get that Terence Crawford now wants to go to 154, and he's still kind of a small dude for 154, but he dominated 147. And to put it this way, Fernando, Canelo started his career in the U.S. at 154. That was like 2012, 2010. It's a long time. Thanks to Oscar. Give him credit. Put some respect on my name. Then he went to middleweight. We remember the trilogy with Gennady Golovkin. That was at 160. And now he's the undisputed champion at 168. And even a guy like Benavidez, he kept saying he couldn't wait. And, I'll kind of touch on that real quick. The Benavidez thing, like, I get that he's saying I've done my part for 3 years, but he also had another thing in his response. He said, I get it's politics. It's politics, bro. You haven't built up your name enough to be a household name. And people are starting to talk now. And people give Canelo a lot of crap for waiting a little too long with Golovkin. But other than that, I'm with him. He's fought everybody that's come across his way. And yeah, maybe Benavidez, if you go a couple years too late, I think right now it's perfect. There's no ducking involved. It's just the weight class. And can he come down? Same thing with Canelo. Can he come down for Terence Crawford? I don't know. But here's where I was thinking when you said about January or December.
It gives him enough time to. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
If they give Canelo Edgar Berlanga, you ask me who the hell is Edgar Berlanga? He's a Puerto Rican New Yorker.
I did some research on him.
He has some good pop in the East Coast. He's not really a big name household, but he hangs out with Fat Joe. People in New York love him. And I told you about this. If you put Munguia and Berlanga and their skills as one fighter, they'll be very good. But Berlanga has the power. He doesn't have the punching volume that Munguia has. He's a little slow. He's like Frankenstein. He's a big dude. He kind of was new to the boxing game, but the guy has power. Think about Deontay Wilder with the power, but no skills. I don't know if his power is Deontay Wilder, but Canelo will take the kid to school. He does have the pop. That when you got pop like that, you always got a chance in the boxing game. But if Canelo takes Edgar Berlanga to school in September, and then you're like, cool, I came out clean, no injuries, and you want to take that money, that Saudi money, fight Terence Crawford for the hell of it, because he's a guy small, I can see that happening, Fernando. More, I see that route, those two fights, more than Benavidez. You okay?
Yeah,
like,
my bad.
I don't want to see that.
No. Deontay Wilder loves us. So yeah, that you said Deontay Wilder. I'm like, friend of the show. Yeah, I wonder if that fight's gonna happen. I just the Benavidez one I just don't see happening just because of everything that you've laid out.
Yeah, and it's the weight class for me. I don't know where they will do it.
The problem is that Canelo's kind of at this point now where he's you've beaten everybody down there. You've beaten a lot of people up there. I'm not saying you've completely, because obviously Bivol. And you know, it's funny. Canelo was walking after he said the comment about that Oscar De La Hoya looked beautiful. He was a beautiful girl. Somebody asked him if he would want to fight Bivol, and he's like, that's one of my plans.
He said, yeah, I can see Bivol being. Well, I guess what was the question? I think well, the hiccup for that one was,
would you want a rematch with Bivol? And he said that's a plan, or that's the plan.
Canelo supposedly says he wants that fight on the same terms. That was 175. That's when he finally got a little too cocky, went high up, and it bit him in the ass. But Bivol was saying, like, I kicked his ass so bad at 175. It's not a challenge for me. I'd rather come down to 168. So
that would be interesting.
Maybe at that point, Canelo's like, okay,
then Canelo beats them, and then they can have a trilogy and have Canelo go back up to one. They're going to be playing this.
And that's the thing I hate about boxing. For now, people make excuses all the time. If Benavidez comes out at 168 and he loses, well, he was too drained. He couldn't make it. Canelo needs to go up. And then Canelo goes up and he loses, and it's kind of like, well, I was too small. Like, why would I take this fight? I'm dumb. Excuses all the time. That's why I like the fights when they're both in the same weight class, ready to go in your prime. That does not get any better. But the Benavidez one and Canelo, it's a little complicated. But if Canelo goes up, I want all that talk about him being a duck and avoiding people. Shut the hell up. He's going up to 175 and fighting one of the best guys of the game.
One of the complaints that I have of boxing is everybody tells the loser congratulations. He lost. What are you congratulating him about?
Who, Munguia?
Yeah, everybody was like, felicidades. Yeah. For what? He lost. What are we doing?
Fernando, that's your American side talking. Mexicans love the guy who just punches like crazy. They don't care to get their ass whooped. But if you're out there showing heart,
Canelo had some nuggets on his face. You could tell. Like, he had a couple on the left side. He did have a couple of nuggets. By the way, speaking of people who make excuses and dodge and do all that stuff, Gilbert, did you see what happened Saturday night in Vegas? I believe this was Saturday night. Get a load of this. Speaking of excuses.
What? Oh, I did not see this.
It's Devin Haney and Tank exchanging words outside of a club or whatever.
That's Devin Haney's brother again. I remember him running his mouth in the video that we got.
Yeah. So they're over here talking crap, and I can't believe there's no volume. Whoever took this video, you are disappointed.
Maybe there was music and it's copyright.
Oh, thank God. Okay, then never mind. But supposedly that wasn't the other that like, I wonder what's going on there, because obviously I don't think he's gonna come up. Oh, here we go. Somebody freaking has it. God bless.
Okay.
All right, I have it. My bad, Vic.
Beep, beep.
I don't care. Oh, sorry for losers like TikTok. I apologize for the words that are about to be used. Here's your disclaimer. Oh, what? Okay, you couldn't understand a damn more that they were saying. But still, I wanted to see what
I don't know why Devin Haney's talking so much, man. Like,
by the way, did you see this though? Sorry, Vic. I'm doing it again. Look at this. This is Gervonta with Devin Haney's car.
Wait, what? What's he say? Oh, okay. Don't read that.
He put I can't read that. Can't stop shit and we on their side. So it's Gervonta and I don't know who this is. He's leaning on Devin Haney's Gervonta. Tell them how I made you and you dip out and I'm on y'all side of town. That a cold bitch. Bro, don't tell me we're gonna get this fight because I don't want it. Well, actually, I think it'd be funny to see how Bill Haney would spin it. But at the same time, I don't.
They will spin it that Ryan Garcia was too big, and Tank is a small dude, even though his name is Tank. By the way, I get confused with Tank and Frank Martin. You think the guy named Frank is the Tank, Frank the Tank?
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually a good one.
anyway, with the Devin Haney thing, Ryan Garcia was just too big and strong. Tank is stronger than Ryan Garcia, but he's smaller, so that could be the way you could sell it. But I think Devin Haney needs to have a tuna fight to shows like he's recovered, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. All right, Gilbert. Let's move on now to UFC 301 real quick. Alexander Pantoja defeated Steve Urkeg? No. Whatever. By unanimous decision. What's next for Pantoja, do you believe, Gilbert? Do you feel like his next fight should be Amir Albazi, who's a third-ranked fight? Because right now, obviously, Gilbert, Brandon Moreno's taking a leave of absence. He's coming off of 2 losses. He's on a sabbatical. And Braden Roy is ranked number 1. But obviously Pantoja just beat him 5 months ago. So what do you think? Do you think that and Amir is obviously the third ranked fighter right now in that division. So what do you think is next? Because it kind of seems like he might be having to go either up or come down or do something, because it's getting to be slim pickings.
Yeah, it's kind of a weak division. It's the flyweight division, and that's why I'm blanking on the Brazilians. And that's why Moreno fought the Brazilian 3 times or 4 times. Is it? Why am I forgetting? Figueiredo. There we go. Because there's not a lot of competition in that flyweight division, and then Pantoja's dominating everybody. So I don't know. You might have to go up because Figueiredo moved up to bantamweight. Maybe that's the next opportunity for. Pantoja is really good. I think I remember when we covered that Moreno fight, and everybody was talking about Brandon Moreno, obviously being in Las Vegas, being close to home, and TJ and Mexican fans came out, but nobody talked about the guy. Nobody talks about the guy right now. That's a problem about being in a flyweight division. But you said it, Fernando. It might be time to go up unless you want to go fight Moreno again. You want to do a couple of repeats here and there. But again, when you're a small dude, it's hard to go up in weight class. You can make the weight class, but can you compete with bigger people? Can you compete with guys who have heavy hands, things like that? It's all in transition, but eventually, one thing I do respect about UFC, even though the weight classes are all out of whack, like you could go from 160 to 185. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Make better weight classes. But that's my one pet peeve on UFC. I'm a boxing guy, but when you go up a little bit, a lot of people do it in the UFC. I like that people challenge themselves, but it's not an easy feat.
I don't know. And you're right about the divisions and the way they're split up. By the way, Dana White kind of took a beating a little bit at the Tom Brady roast. They said that something about scamming Brazilians. I can't remember what the whole line was, but that nobody scams Brazilians like Dana White does, or he's giving him a run for his money, something like that. But by the way, the only foul there that Tom Brady had to stand up and get pissed about was Robert Kraft with the whole massage parlor thing. That not his wife, not anything else. Like, what he drew the line at was that. But I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm just interested to see where that division goes, because obviously Brandon Moreno was a big. When he won the championship, it was kind of like Andy Ruiz when he won his. Like, everybody knew who Brandon Moreno was. They put him on his back. The Mexican people put him on his back, and then obviously he lost. He's taken a couple L's lately, and then he gets dropped on his head, obviously, and that says something, Gilbert, that you're kind of at the point where you better come back and do something. If not, you're going to get forgotten. It's going to be the next guy up that is going to do something. Because at one point you had 3 Mexican champions, and now I believe Gracie still no.
Brasso?
No.
I think she recently lost it. Let me double check.
She lost. Yeah, she lost hers. Yeah, so I'm just wondering what's next for Pantoja, but
it's a current champion.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought she was still the champion. The other 2
we got one.
Yeah. So but yeah, Gilbert, just real quick, I wanted to get your news on this, and I thought it was huge. I think we were driving to Vegas, and I mentioned this to you. John Jones wants Alex Pereira over Tom Aspinall. Aspinall. Yeah, okay. And it was funny because, Gilbert, you mentioned Tom multiple times. You said, hey, if it's not going to be Bones Jones, it's going to have to be Tom because he's the interim champion. But, Gilbert, how excited would you be for this potential matchup? Because I mean, I remember you were in the car and you got hyped. I would get hyped for something like this because obviously he just beat Jamal Hill. He's kind of in the same spot as Pantoja where he's like, okay, I already beat the crap out of all you guys. Like maybe I should come up and maybe collect another piece of hardware. But where do you kind of see in this potential matchup? Big money.
Oh, definitely. And I love the way that Alex Pereira has made a name for himself in the United States. And like, he doesn't even speak English, but he's just such a monster and dominant. Like he's like a guy you don't want to mess with. Like if you see this guy, if you run across him, you better run the other way. Like, especially when he has the shave cut. Like I love that whole thing. And like he's a nice guy with the hair growing. And then when he shaves it off, it's all business. Don't mess with that guy. So hands of stone, right? In Brazilian, I forgot to say. I'm gonna try, but I gotta learn Portuguese. But he's become a star, and now I think maybe that was the last thing that John Jones needed. Remember, he kept fighting Daniel Cormier, and then like, okay, well, Cormier can't beat you, so what else do you do? And then he fought like nobodies, and then he got in trouble with other stuff. He got injuries, and he's a little older too. So I would like to see that. And again, it's a guy in his prime moving up against a legendary fighter who's never been beaten before. Like the storylines are all right there. And in a way, like maybe Pereira could be the favorite because John Jones hasn't fought. He's older. It's about to be a year and a half or 2 years. And John Jones said he wants that fight because it might be the last payday he'll get in his career. Yeah, fighting Tom Aspinall, who's the interim champion, maybe he deserves it more, but it's not going to get as much money as Pereira and John Jones. And I was trying to think about when they'll do it, Fernando. You know, UFC kind of has like their tent poles. You know, they have a big fight like around March. That was UFC 300. They have one International Fight Week in July, and they tend to save a special one at the end of the year, and also a special one for Madison Square Garden in New York. I think around October, November. So that could be something there. No,
Vegas.
You want Vegas? Yeah, hopefully
Vegas.
And then the Vegas one will probably be at the end of the year, like December something. We could wait.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that. That would be a killer fight at the end in Vegas. But I definitely. I mean, obviously, John Jones, whenever he's on the headline, he's like, I mean, obviously, he's not at the level of Conor, but whenever the name John Jones is on there, it's special. It's a special weekend. And I think the media craze would be nuts for him to return. Obviously, like you said, he's been out for a while, and to come back and take on the biggest dog in the yard, like that would be interesting to watch. So,
Chama. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Jones is anywhere near being done yet. So, but I mean, there's something in the water when it comes to that family.
If we get a year with Conor McGregor and John Jones return, that's a fun year.
That's a lot of energy, especially with the way. I mean, you told me you're never experienced anything like this, and now I'm like, oh shoot. Then imagine John Jones. Also?
I've never covered a John Jones fight. Now I think about it.
Oh really?
Oh, I can't remember. I don't think so.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Well, because he's so up and down. Like sometimes he fights, other times, So it's
actually when I was in Vegas covering a bunch of UFC fights, that's when he got his like a long year suspension. He was doing other stuff and he got in trouble a lot. And I think when he came back, I don't think it was one of the last Cormier fights where he kicked him in the stomach. It might have been like outside of Vegas, but I can't remember.
Vegas. Yeah, no, I'm definitely I think that was obviously awesome. But all right, Gilbert, let's move on now. Man, that would be awesome. Moving on now to WWE Backlash, Gilbert. It was in Lyon. Definitely I'm gonna do it pretty soon. I just want to show you guys. This isn't from the broadcast, so I think I can show this and be okay. But look at the atmosphere.
Yeah.
In Lyon.
Jay Uso from Team Gilberto right there. Drafted him last week.
Look at that. Like it's amazing. And Dan and Dago is a huge pro America, pro everything. He's like, bro, he's like, they need to go back. They need to go back to like there has to be a WrestleMania in London. Like this is amazing. So, all right. Lyon, vous êtes brillantes et incroyables. Félicitations à vous tous, à vous trois. J'ai élevé la barrière. So I just said, Leon, you guys
What? Are you
were
about to
loud.
sleep? I heard the last part
Yeah, you
in
can hear it
Espanol.
'cause
No,
huh?
the last part you said
Oh,
sounded like a
yeah, my
Spanish
bad, my bad, my bad.
the
So
tweet.
basically, I said, Leon, you guys were loud and amazing. Congrats to you all. You raised the bar. So
Okay.
I thought the energy that Leon had was amazing. I think that WWE definitely needs to go back. Gilbert, when Randy Orton came out, they were singing his song, like the whole thing. They were singing Cody Rhodes' song. I don't know if you know this, but when Bailey's out there, it happened a couple of years ago, but the crowd started chanting, "Hey, hey, Bailey, ooh, I want to know if you'll be my girl." Like I told you, Gilbert, on the car ride, like
Yeah,
because I was
I heard
watching
it.
it on the way out there, but they did that a couple of years ago, and Charlotte Flair did not know what to do. Like she was getting stumped. She couldn't continue. Like it was just not. They did it. The crowd did it for, and they were in Liverpool, I believe, or Manchester. Can't remember which one, but they did it for about 10 minutes straight, just chanting that, and it was nuts. But Leon did a great job. I would love to see WWE continue to go to Europe. Imagine a Royal Rumble in an atmosphere like that,
Yeah, with the countdown.
and then there's always returns. Can you imagine just a return that would blow them away? So I definitely think I kind of and Pat McAfee said it on his show, but I thought Pat kind of dropped the ball. I would have loved to have seen the energy of Pat with the crowd with
Yeah,
Jey Uso's
standing on
entrance.
the
Like, that
table on
would
the
have been
downstairs table.
that would have been amazing. But Leon, I give all the credit to. They were incredible on Friday Night SmackDown. They were even better. They took it up a notch. WWE needs to do something to where that's the standard. And in the United States, I think some cities don't deserve the Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, because that's the kind of atmosphere that you should be creating every single night that you're there. Like, I'm not saying completely like singing the song and all that, but at least be animated, get hyped. Like, there's times where Dan and I are watching Monday Night Raw, and I'm like, what the hell is like, why is the crowd not into this? Like, that is great. That's fantastic. This, that. So, just my thoughts. But real quick, Gilbert, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, holy shit. It was the first time they had ever wrestled. And I was wondering what we were going to get. We got a freaking masterpiece. The way they both just got themselves in it. It was high pace. It was Cody Rhodes did a Cody Cutter from the third row or from the top rope, jumped off, hit him with the Cody Cutter. It was one of those matches where you actually, every time AJ Styles went to go pin, you're like, oh crap, no way. And then obviously Cody would jump out. But it's just one of those matches where, and I had written it last week on the Compas newsletter. I said, this is going to be the boring time of WWE. It's going to be interesting to see the way Triple H tries to cook this up. And Dan Dago said last week, he saw the fight card and he texted me, this is kind of weak. I said, Dan, that's when the product is always the best. Just watch these matches and it's going to be different. The only match that, and Gilbert, you're going to hate me, that I was kind of like, was Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair beating the Kabuki Warriors, just because we all knew they were going to win the championships. I still want to see Jade take a couple more bumps. I was saying, and Gilbert was like, "What?" Because I kept on saying, "Wow, come on, have her take a bump, have her do something." but I thought all the matches, Damian Priest, Jey Uso was great.
Yeah.
I thought all the matches that were on there were fantastic. I thought they had a great card. But Cody and AJ just stood out to me, man. And the storytelling has been incredible because AJ went with, I was not selected. WWE did not want me. You've been selected since you were born. WWE's wanted here since you came out of the womb. And they kind of went with that angle. And I'm like, And then I started seeing the storytelling. I'm like, oh, crap. All right, this is the way we're going. So I definitely thought it was an incredible pay-per-view. I was very excited. It was they hit the same level as they did last year in Puerto Rico.
Well, that was gonna be my. Well, let me ask you 3 questions, Fernando, because
I'm ready.
This is your backyard. You're the expert or the WWE insider for Compas on the beat, and you mentioned Puerto Rico, and maybe like a little bit of a 2-parter. It'd be cool if Backlash becomes an annual tradition of going
Somewhere else.
out of the states. You know, Puerto Rico, I guess that's kind of a territory in the U.S., but they're out of the states. You know, we got the Bad Bunny entrance. Now we got France in 2024. Like, keep it going and give me maybe a city for 2025. And will we ever see anybody try to match Bad Bunny's entrance because Jey Uso got very close.
Jey Uso got very close, but the thing with Bad Bunny is that esa su gente.
Yeah.
Like that, those are his people. So they were gonna show out. Like I remember last year, I got goosebumps when Bad Bunny came out, and I even got goosebumps when Damian Priest came out because I remember the people were really into it. But this Jey Uso, man, I was like, oof, like this is when Randy Orton came out. Like I'm getting it. I feel like The Rock right now because I got it right now. But I'd love to see it in Ireland next year.
Oh,
I think Ireland would be fire. They're going to do it in Scotland this year for Clash at the Castle, and I feel like Drew McIntyre is going to win the championship there because 2 years ago he was screwed by. Oh no, last year he was screwed by Roman there when they did Clash at the Castle, and I think this year Drew McIntyre might actually win it. Actually, he's out with injury tonight, so he couldn't compete in King of the Ring. So I'm interested to see what route they're kind of taking with that because he wasn't going to compete. So Jey Uso is now competing for the King of the Ring. So that'll be interesting to see how they do that. But Ireland, I'd love to see it in Ireland. I think Ireland would be an incredible atmosphere. I wish, I'll go with Ireland. You know what? I think Mexico might be able to match.
hey.
I'd love to see Mexico.
Yeah, how about that?
I think Mexico would be interesting.
LWO.
I think they could match the energy, and I think it'd be. What I'd be interested in is Dominic Mysterio. How would he be received in Mexico? So
the only problem is like they don't really have like arenas or Estadio Azteca. Is it going to be ready to go? Like that's why the NFL hasn't gone back in a couple of years. Like
you know where I'd love to see it, but it's outdoors. I don't care though. Is it? There's one stadium. Is in Monterrey's? No, there's one that's like right next to the mountains. I can't remember what beautiful.
I was just naming a bunch of teams. Necaxa?
No.
Atlas. Pumas. Cruz Azul. America. I know the teams.
What?
By the way, Deadpool
Monterrey.
guy.
I got it right.
Okay.
Monterrey.
Did you see
Monterrey Stadium.
Ryan Reynolds and the guy from Always Sunny, they bought into Necaxa with
I think they're gonna try and I think they're now in the second division. They've brought their team Wrexham. I think they brought it to the championship.
It's gonna buy a bunch of teams and make a show out of it.
Well, I mean, they're probably gonna make shows off of it and everything. But the thing is, they're one step away from the English Premier League. So I think everybody's kind of excited to see.
I know we're going off topic, but should I watch the show? I know it's soccer, but
I haven't. You know what's funny? Dan and Dago just asked me, and I'm like, I haven't watched it. So, I might check it out. But yeah, I think Rey Mysterio would get a huge pop down there. I think Jey Uso. I think all those guys would get a huge pops. I just want to see what Dominic would get. Because it would be
for the booth.
To see him. Yeah, exactly.
Do it in TJ because right next to San Diego. But let me give you one more because you kind of answered my Cody Rhodes question, and I love AJ Styles as a
I guess the Cholo Stadium wouldn't be bad in. It's just a little bit weird, but yeah, they could do it at the Cholo Stadium. Why not?
Maybe some arena in the casino that we went to on TJ that one time.
We'll take Dante with us to go watch it.
Yeah, but one more, Fernando. I got to get your quick thoughts here. WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. I am so hyped about that. But for you, what do you take away from that?
I take away that WWE listened to what the fans wanted. I look, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like sometimes teams, companies, they throw out rumors to see what the temperature is. Temperature. And I think people were like Minneapolis, like, remember, Philly is a sports town. Like people in Philly love Philly. It's all about like people get crazy in Philly. That's why WrestleMania was perfect. Minnesota has a great stadium, but what about the atmosphere? Las Vegas has a great stadium and they have the atmosphere. And then it's like, well, where are you going to stay in Minnesota? There's not like there's hotels and everything, but it's not like Vegas where there's a hotel on every corner. The atmosphere. Exactly. By the way, SmackDown needs to be at the Sphere the night before WrestleMania. I would love to see SmackDown at the Sphere. I think it'd be incredible. But man, the fact that they listen to the WWE universe and they're getting it in Vegas, it's going to be awesome. I'm wondering what the relationship now is going to be between Vegas and AEW, because AEW usually comes into Vegas like right around early May. So I'm interested to see kind of the dynamic when it comes to that. But I definitely love that they're doing it in Vegas. I think it's perfect. Vegas. Like I said, Vegas. I told you, I think the Super Bowl should now only be in New Orleans, Florida, California, and Arizona and Vegas. Like those are the only destinations I think they should do. Other than that, I don't think they should touch anywhere else, to be completely honest. I mean, I'm just being honest. But I think WWE should kind of take the same approach. But I think WWE can go international, obviously, with it and all that. But I definitely loved that they're doing it in Vegas. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be something we might have to go to almost the whole week in a sense, because I think there's going to be a lot of events, a lot of different things. That's what I was telling Joe Morley. I'm like, hey, next year, we need to go when you guys go, because Samoan Raider and Mr. Fitz, obviously, also shout out to them. But I want to see what the atmosphere is the whole week leading up to it, because I think WWE is going to start moving into that WWE where it's Radio Row. It's the whole, not Radio Row, but like there's events the whole week leading into the humongous product. The only thing is here, it's 2 days, and in the Super Bowl, it's only one game. So
my only problem, Fernando, is like they moved the date. Remember, it was the first week of April.
Yeah.
It usually competes with the Final Four.
Yeah.
And now it's 2 weeks later. So I doubt the boxing and UFC would try to compete with them because they're holding court in Vegas and they're gonna be respectful of that. But imagine it was like a big, like the Ryan Garcia fight was April 20th. UFC 300 was a week before that, and then the draft is so close. That's my only kind of thing. Should be another hot April.
Oh, it's the weekend before the draft. That's gonna be a long week. No, but I mean, yeah, I don't know why they moved it. I'm interested to see maybe somebody asked.
Maybe the Final Four kind of competing too much and they didn't like it. I don't know.
I guess, but I'm interested to see why. Like, is there a concert that's going to be there? Is there something that's happening around that time that they were like, you know what, let's just move it to this time? But they're talking about moving the Super Bowl now to President's Day weekend, and I guess WWE moved it here. So
oh, stop it! When is it going to be the Combine? Like the Monday after the Super Bowl? What the hell?
Yeah,
you're getting me started. Like,
yeah,
no, week 18, please, no.
Yeah, but
I mean, week 19.
But I'm excited to see what this product is. But man, they just did such a great job over the weekend. I'm telling you, bro, like I'm going to get like, if we get The Rock versus Roman in the main event in Vegas, that the roof is going to blow off. And remember, there's no freaking, for the media up there. For the media, there's no glass. It's open. So we're going to be able to listen to everything. The atmosphere, Gilbert, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. And
it's going to be nuts.
A lot of Samoans live in Vegas. And you're talking about that main event?
I know. So it's going to be, by the way, when we were in that Vegas thing, like he did look at Mr. Fitz and TJ, or the Samoan Raider, and he looked like Roman looked at them and said something to them about like, hey, mad respect, because they were front row. And then Roman, and then The Rock said something to them too. I was like, damn. I'm like, all right. I'm like, either these guys know them or they see Samoans and they're like, hey, we're all about, we're all about it. Oh, by the way, real quick before we bring in Vic, the producer, Gilbert was amazed by the amount of people that kept on chatting with me on on Saturday at the fight.
I would never. That can never be me. But yeah, to kind of give context. We had a seat in this, one of the stands there, section. Shout out to section 2 something.
224.
224. We're pretty high up. So, but we're also with the fans or people who bought the tickets. I was gonna say a different word. But fans were there, and we were right next to them, and we were like maybe the third highest row, and you could see how steep it was to go down. And credit to the women out there because they were wearing heels, and to go down like 30s, rows like this, like what did you compare it to the pyramids in Mexico City? Like that's how steep they were. Like going down. Yeah, we saw a couple people almost fall. We saw one person fall, unfortunately.
A worker. But he used his ass.
Yeah.
So he was smart. He didn't go forward.
But to my point here, that's the setup of where we were. We're pretty high up. Anytime somebody came up, they would look down like, oh crap, that's really high up. We got to make our way down. Fernando gave words of encouragement. Hey, don't fall. You could do it, blah, blah, blah. And then just making conversations about anything. Some guy followed us on Compas on the Beat IG page because we were talking to him. So you made like maybe 30 friends that night while I was hiding in the middle of rows. Don't talk to me.
There was one individual that I told him, I'm like, hey, you better not fall because my buddy down here is because Gilbert had his phone out. Gilbert didn't notice, but I told him you better not fall because he's recording to see. He's like, no, como crees, no, chingue su madre, no, and then he goes down and everything. So yeah, no, when I was in line the last time, Gilbert, to try and use our vouchers before we left, I got like 3 or 4 people to like the Instagram page and subscribe.
Really?
So I was,
that's why we went up. Yeah.
Yeah. So people were like looking at my pass and everything. They're like, oh, what are you doing? I would tell them and they get all excited and they're like, we'll subscribe. Oh, we'll follow. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah. So 5 people are actually pretty nice. So shout out.
It was a good environment. I did not see any fights or anybody acting stupid. So that's the way you want to have it. And people were really into it.
There was a fight at the Bad Bunny concert, wherever the hell Bad Bunny was, though. There was a fat fight, and like the 2 chicks, like somebody said they put up more of a fight than Canelo and Munguia did. I was like, damn, y'all are messed up. But all right, Gilbert, let us bring in Vic the producer. Oh shoot, sorry, my hand slipped. I swear, my bad. I apologize for that one.
Jorge's not here, so
Vic the producer, how you doing?
Doing good, guys. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Again, I apologize. My hand slipped.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, it's, you guys seem like you guys had a good weekend there. We got a lot of subscribers, so good on you guys. Great job by you guys. But we're here for rapid fire. We're going to get into some NFL. We're going to change things up. So you were talking about Joe Morley there, and so the Raiders announced last week the first ever Raider fan cruise that will set sail in March of 2025. Raider fans and alumni will participate in a Raiders theme experience during a 7-night Mexican Riviera cruise. First question is, should the Compas be on this cruise with Joe Morley? But seriously, are there any theme cruises you guys would sign up for tomorrow if it was announced today?
Hell yeah. Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, if there was an OnlyFans cruise, I would definitely go on it.
What, with influencers and stuff?
Huh? Of a certain gender. But I would definitely go on that. I would be all over that. So yeah, give me the OnlyFans cruise and I'm all for that. Let's do it. Let's what's her name? The one that D'Angelo Russell snitched on, and what's her name? She broke up with Nick Young. Azalea. Her.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Larsa Pippen's on there.
Be the captain of the boat or what?
Oh yeah. Oh, give me all of them. Yeah. What's up? Hey, we got it. So yeah. I do it. No. But well, I would jump on that cruise, but in all reality, no, because I think I hate being around people in a sense. So I don't think I could stand being on Mimsy's getting on me for it. But no, I don't know. I just too many people in an enclosed area, and then like I've seen too many movies where like submarines hit it with a torpedo and all this stuff. So yeah, no, I'm Poseidon, all that. No, I'm good. But that first one, I don't know. I might have to consider it, but. Go ahead. By the way, Joe Morley told me he would not go on that cruise.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Okay. He said he will not go on that cruise.
According to why? We gotta ask him one day.
I'll ask him. Yeah. Well, you know what? I like texting with Morley is funny, but like when you get him in person, he's just completely nuts. So I definitely I'd have to ask him that in person. But yeah, Gilbert, what about you?
Honestly, I can't top that answer. The OnlyFans, that's great by you, because again, I'm not really like a go out and be around a lot of people person. I know Caroline makes me do like stuff like go to the Renaissance Fair, which Victor went to this weekend. Maybe like that would be kind of cool, but after a while you get tired of it. And I was thinking, like, what if like a WWE theme? People will annoy me after like 24 hours.
That's what I was gonna say, WWE also, but I thought
But I'll say this, I'll give you an answer, Victor. I think it's a smart idea to do like a fan thing for certain teams. Like, you can make a lot of money. We should make a cruise, a Compas cruise, and have a day for the Browns fans, have a day for the Charger fans, have a day for the Rams.
I thought you were gonna say brown people.
So, brown people too. The Mexican cruise. They all go to Mexico. So
you said brown, so I was like,
I don't know why I thought about the Browns, but they're the Dog Pound. It's a good group of people. The Steelers and any type of fan base that you feel like is very passionate. The Packers obviously will have a bunch of people. But the Raider cruise to be kind of like the starting one, I like it. Just everywhere you go, you hear Raiders. Like us, we'll get annoyed of it. But Raider fans, if we hear Joe Morley's kid doing that the whole time, I would definitely be okay with that. But I think it's a gold mine of an idea. People will definitely buy it. It will sell out. Go through Mexico or whatever, the Bahamas. I like it.
Mimsy, no, I would hate that idea. No
Beat Writers Cruise.
I would not go on that. I definitely would not go on that. I would push people overboard. So yeah, no, I'm good on that.
One rule for Beat Writers Cruise: don't talk about football. Let's just have a good time and drink.
And I would have to look at the list of beat writers, quote unquote, that are on there. So yeah, I definitely I'm telling you, a lot of these companies should hire me to put limitations on what a beat writer and beat reporter is. So yeah,
but if you're gonna allow some OnlyFans people to be beat reporters, I bet you're gonna pass that.
Let's do it. That's I'm telling you that OnlyFans cruise would be me and like. Well, no, but
I was combine it with a boxing crowd and bring in the ring girls too.
No, they would take my that, but not men. They take my women. No, I'm good.
The octagon girls and all that.
Yeah, I love them too. Love them, but all combat sports. Let's do it. But
I was going to say this is great. Honestly, I like where you guys went with these answers. So I'm gonna give the point to Fernando there for his OnlyFans cruise theme. I'm sure with now there's a OnlyFans channel as well out there. There's a sponsorship side, and I think it was in the Ryan Garcia fight. They already are a sponsor. So why not take it?
We're gonna send this clip to OnlyFans and hopefully they can sponsor us. Why not?
There you go.
That'll be the next. Hey, Compas brought to you by OnlyFans. So there you go.
I do. I don't care. I have no shame. I have no shame.
All right, moving on. Now that the NFL draft is behind us, there's two quarterbacks that currently have 1 year left on their contracts with the most to prove next season. Which quarterback has the most at stake next season, guys? Dak Prescott or Tua Tagovailoa?
Ooh, yeah. So it's my turn. I will want to say Tua, but I have a strong inclination. No sources here. I'm not one of those people that makes things up here, right? The Dolphins are going to pay him. I think they're going to pay him. And what do you have to prove after you get paid this summer? I want to believe Jerry Jones and the Jones family are setting up for a summer where Dak Prescott is going to go into training camp as a lame duck. He's going to have his final year, so all the pressure is going to be on Dak Prescott. Yeah, a different kind of duck, a duck that should not be paid, I guess, and he's not afraid, but you get me off track. But Dak Prescott, he's done this way too many times, been in the playoffs way too many times, and he keeps striking out first round, second round, whatever. Nobody cares about divisional round. We don't hang up banners here for divisional round. Maybe the Cowboys do because they haven't done anything since 1994, whatever you want to call it. But enough is enough. Dak Prescott, Cowboys, Jerry Jones, don't cave. Don't see Dak not showing up for mandatory minicamp. Maybe he's gone for training camp. Put the pressure on your quarterback because he hasn't won anything. And Dak, if you're smart with your agent, I don't blame you. You play that game. You got the leverage. You're a good quarterback. You're not maybe an elite quarterback, but you're much better than Trey Lance and Cooper Rush. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on this summer.
So you went Dak Prescott?
I did.
See, I think Jerry Jones is going to pay him.
Dave?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He sees him as a son, all this.
It's May, though. It's May. He hasn't gotten paid yet, so May.
The same way he saw Troy Aikman, the same way he saw other quarterbacks, he's going to cave in, he's going to pay him. So I think it's Tua. I would not pay him a dime until he has completed this season. Look, there's no more excuses. You have the speed. You have the players. You have the running backs. The only thing they don't have is the offensive line, in my opinion. I thought there were semi-decent last year at times, but then there was other times where they just didn't play well. But Tua did not can't perform in the fourth quarter. We saw what he did against the Bills in that game where it was win and you win the division. He throws a lame ball towards the sideline and he gets picked. A lame duck. Yeah, a lame duck. I didn't want to bring up a duck again.
Throwing duck.
Unless I was gonna throw it on the smoker and eat it. But yeah, PETA's gonna come after my ass now. But I definitely he learned how to fall safely. Oh, you're on one today. But I I just think that Tua has no more excuses. And again, I don't like the Odell Beckham Jr. signing, to be completely honest. But you have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle. Again, I still think they need a big-bodied receiver. I know that's what they wanted Claypool to be, but he's
right.
He's not. Yeah,
He's with the Bills,
not,
though, by the way.
Yeah, and they gave him 14. That was a kick in the balls to Stephon Diggs. I wouldn't retire his jersey or anything like that either, but still. But yeah, I think Tua has a lot to prove. I mean, why is it that basically everybody else in your that was drafted with you are playing up to par, or they're doing better than expected, and you're kind of the odd man out in a sense? I know Jalen Hurts kind of had a down year last year, and then obviously Herbert had the injuries, but still, Jordan Love stepped up. Jalen has stepped up. Obviously, well, I ain't gonna touch that, but still, you need to step up, and this has to be the year where he does something. If not, in a sense, Tua could cost Mike McDaniel his job. So they really need to evaluate what they're gonna do moving forward. I mean, but I just think Tua has a lot to prove this season. I was not convinced last year when they put 70 on the Broncos. I said, hey, I would pump the brakes on that. The team that starts off hot is usually the one that goes cold by the end of the season, and that's what happened to them. So
remember that amazing September they had in 70-20,
and I kept on saying, that's why I kept on saying, like, I don't like that they're all hot and everything, because everybody's like, how can any defense is gonna figure the way they do this? Freaking Bills had a bunch of injuries out there, and they figured that defense or that offense out, and they were able to stop it. So I think it's Tua.
Yeah, no, I mean, you made some good points there, Fernando. But I mean, for me, it's like it has to be Dak, just because McCarthy's going to be gone if he doesn't perform, and then he can always just get another contract. You would assume. I think with Tua, like, he's ending his rookie contract now, and so you would figure that whether or not they're going to move on from him. I think the pressure with the Cowboys is a lot more. And I think, as Gilbert pointed out, I mean, we've seen this picture before. So if he doesn't, take them to at least the championship game, I think he's the one that's out, along with McCarthy. So I'm giving Gilbert there the point. All right, guys, next one, and we'll start off with you here, Fernando. 7 rookies made the Pro Bowl roster from the 2023 draft. Which rookie player are you betting the Manzano and Ramirez farm will be on the Pro Bowl roster after this upcoming season?
Even though he has a terrible quarterback, I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr.
I knew it. Damn it.
I think. Well, I kind of wanted to say Alt, but there's just so much talent at the tackle position all over that I just don't know.
Rashawn did it his rookie year.
Yeah, he did. But I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a great season. I think he'll break out. And I hate that I went the safe route, but Gilbert didn't go the safe route on Saturday night, and he paid for it at dinner. So I'm gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he'll make Kyler Murray look decent, and I think he's gonna put up big numbers. So I'm gonna go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hey, blame Adam Hill for the worst steak I've ever had. And some advice here, which you don't need, but don't eat a steak at a dive bar at 1 a.m. Okay. It's
funniest part is I told Gilbert like a good. I felt like we were a couple in one of those. I'm like, let me try it, and he passes over his plate, and I tried. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, this is like a hockey puck. So yeah, I definitely.
And I blame people at T-Mobile Arena for not taking my second voucher. That's
I was pissed.
That's why I was hungry. I would have just had a beer, but I had a terrible steak. But anyways.
Uncle Dana takes care of us. I should start sending out tweets like that. The amazing hospitality of Dana White. Thank you so much for feeding us.
Anyways, you know what? For me, I will go a quarterback. I know that I've been showing Drake May a lot of love, but he doesn't have enough weapons. And then I also kind of been, what is that? What's the ring here? Actually, I wasn't. I still got to see
you're gonna go JJ McCarthy.
No. But
damn,
we're running out of names. But Caleb Williams, I got to see the Bears actually do something with a quarterback. I'm not gonna give the Bears the benefit of the doubt because they added Caleb Williams and built a nice roster.
The head coach is gonna be the problem.
60 years to get a quarterback to reach 4,000 yards in a season. You haven't done it for a reason. So I got to see it first. You know what? I'm gonna go back Robert Griffin III, 2012, in the nation's capital or Washington, whatever you want to call him back then. RG3 had a Rookie of the Year season. I think Jaden Daniels, I like him as a player. I worry about his durability. I worry about him taking so many hits that he won't have a long career. That's why I'd rather have Drake May. But coming out the gates, gave me Jaden Daniels to have a great rookie year, make the Pro Bowl. Maybe he not might win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but the question is Pro Bowl. And as you know, the Pro Bowl is a sham. You didn't give me any. You didn't say anything about alternate or being an alternate or whatever. Give me Jaden Daniels to do it. He's going to rush for a lot of yards. You know, we could probably pass for a good amount of yards. You got Scary Terry there. He has Cliff Kingsbury. I worry about that, but Jaden Daniels could have a good first year.
Washington Commanders, if you don't know, I'm going to do this for my brother. If you don't know, there is such a thing as the Gilberto curse. Sit that kid for 1 year and let him come out next year because he's going to get speared on the first play. And that's going to be, he's going to go down quicker than Aaron Rodgers. No,
your brother picked Jaime Munguia this weekend. How about that?
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you both picked two positions that is going to be hard to kind of get a Pro Bowl guy, but we've seen it. I mean, it could be, I think, honestly, with Fernando, I'm going with Fernando here just because Marvin Harrison Jr., as you said, I mean, he has a chance to break a rookie record by Puka Nacua just because they have other weapons there, but they're probably going to run the ball a lot. But Jaden Daniels scares me. I just don't know what to expect, and I'm kind of worried for Gilbert. He's gonna bet the Manzano farm on Jaden Daniels. It's a bit scary there, but
when he took Marvin Harrison and had fun with it, and it's all fake.
Yes,
and then
I know
you got Jared Goff and Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray in the NFC. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, that's true too. All right, so up to one here, Fernando. We're gonna start off here with Gilbert. Gilbert, during the NFL draft, C.J. Stroud and Micah Parsons were in a best division in 2023 debate that clearly Stroud was right about. As we sit here post the draft, who has the best division in football?
And for sure, you're right. C.J. Stroud was clearly right about last year, AFC North. No way in hell it was the NFC East. What are we talking about, Michael Parsons? But I don't know. Like to me, it still feels like I'm not gonna be this predictable when you ask me again in the summer. But I don't see a team better than the Chiefs right now. Like I don't like, but I'm not gonna pick the AFC West. Like I still got to see the Chargers do something. The Broncos suck. The Raiders don't have a quarterback, so it's not gonna be them. And the NFC, like I still. That one's a little more open, but it's not going to be the NFC East. The West could be maybe one, but I'm going back. I'm going to keep it safe. The AFC North, I think Baltimore's still going to be very good. I'm not saying they're going to be better than the Chiefs. Very good. Obviously the Steelers could always be in the hunt for 10 wins. Joe Burrow's healthy. You see the video today? Joe Burrow's out practicing in May. The Bengals could always be something. And then obviously the Browns, they got a good team, but I never really care about the Browns for some reason. But they were good last year. Give me the AFC North to continue. As of right now,
I'm going to flip it on you. I'm going to go the NFC North. NFC North has a lot of excitement, I think. You have the Lions. The Packers obviously did a lot of really good stuff last year that I'm excited to see how they get, because it was in the second half of the season after they played Brandon Staley's defense. It kind of jump-started them, and they moved in, and they were able to beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And they were able to do some good stuff and head into the playoffs and obviously upset the Cowboys. And they took it to – who the hell did they play in the divisional? The 49ers. They took it to the 49ers in the second round. So I'm interested to see there. You obviously have the addition of Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen to that division. Their defense, I thought the Bears' defense is actually pretty good with Montez Sweat. They paid Jalen Johnson. I'm interested with that. And then obviously the Vikings got interesting because not just of J.J. McCarthy, but even if it's him or if it's the other, the USC kid, Darnold, maybe he finally gets his shot. But you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, you have some good players. There's a lot of names there. There's a lot of excitement around that division. And I guess I'm the one hyping it up, but I'm interested to see what the NFC North is going to look like. I'm really excited to see all those because it's a bunch of young quarterbacks in there. There's no like veterans, so I'm gonna go with the NFC North. I'm excited to see what. Oh well, I guess Jared Goff is the veteran there, but still, I'm excited to see what the whole dynamic of that division is gonna be, and I think honestly, it's a coin toss to who's gonna be the best team in that division.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fernando, in terms of that's an exciting division to watch, but I'm with Gilbert here. I mean, it's the AFC North. I mean, we've seen all four teams and how good like any of those teams can knock each other out. I think that's part of the reason as well. And as CJ Stroud pointed out, like on paper, I mean, you have Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, the MVP. The Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't know what their quarterback is going to be, but in terms of their defense, they're really good. And then who am I missing there?
The Cleveland Browns. See,
Cleveland Browns. They made the playoffs.
Boring.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just as right now, and as you talked about, and also I kind of want to move on to this next question, so that way you guys are tied up 2-2 here.
Everybody wants to see Justin Fields return. I'm excited for that if they actually do that.
All right, Fernando, here we go. Let's break the tie here. The NFL schedule is rumored to be dropping this Thursday. So what is the must-see matchup that needs to be in primetime? And when is it taking place and on what network, Fernando?
I want to go with Harbaugh versus Andy Reid, but I'm going to go with the Harbaugh Bowl. Will be on Thanksgiving night on NBC. That'll be the final game of the Thanksgiving slate. The first time that the Harbaugh brothers met in the NFL was in 2011. It was on Thanksgiving night. 49ers Ravens. I think they'll repeat that. I think this year on Thanksgiving night we will get Chargers and Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night. I think that's going to be exciting. Obviously, we all know they love each other. They've come from a different background. They've both made it different ways. Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback that turned into a coach. He's gone through USD, Stanford, 49ers, Michigan, won a national championship. Now he's back in the NFL with the Chargers. John Harbaugh has been with the same team that he's been the head coach of. He's gone through Joe Flacco. He's gone through now Lamar Jackson. So obviously they should have been a Super Bowl. They were a Super Bowl contender last year. They didn't make it. So I think the Harbaugh Bowl is kind of what I think that's one of the games that everybody has circled on their calendar. So I'm going to go Harbaugh Bowl on Thanksgiving, final game, NBC, final answer.
Do the Falcons play the Vikings? I was trying to look it up.
Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
Why not? I think they do play each other. If I don't, then I'm sorry.
Right now.
I'll lose. But hey, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings could be interesting. And how about this? Maybe it's a week where Kirk Cousins just stinks, and then Michael Penix Jr. replaces him, becomes a starter, put it in prime time. I don't know. What the hell? Not Thursday Night Football, because Thursday Night Football is terrible. Sunday Night Football. So NBC, Michael Penix Jr. takes over Kirk Cousins against the Vikings.
It's in Minnesota.
There you go. Even better. In Minnesota. Kirk Cousins trying to get revenge, but he can't because that quarterback behind him is right there.
Wow. Yeah. Fernando made it pretty easy here. I mean, the Harbaugh ball is the way to go.
That's a snoozer.
But I was gonna, congratulations, Fernando, for your third straight win here, Fernando. I think you've had the longest winning streak. But I'll say this, for me personally, the one that I thought of that I kind of want to watch is CJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams. Texans versus the Bears. Two up and coming teams. I think they're kind of
gonna be a Thursday night game.
Yeah, imagine if that happens. I mean,
they're not gonna want to put that on a Sunday night, or like I would want to watch it. Yeah, but I think they're gonna end up making that a Thursday night game. This guy, that's a boring one. Are you kidding me? You just went with the AFC North, the safest pick out of them all.
We've seen the Harbaugh brothers face each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you can't top that for a regular season game.
That was years ago. Now that he's back, different colors and everything.
Yeah.
This guy. All right. All right. Let's do a 10 minutes with the Compas.
It'll be 10 minutes because Stan's not here when he makes it 24
I'll make this quick, guys. If you
that was on purpose.
10-ish good minutes, but then and they go.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. All right, Fernando, we're going to start off with you. We're going to make this real quick. So, Fernando, you've been a proponent of having NFL teams leave their home city for training camp. The Raiders are the latest team to move their training camp to Southern California. Why have you been pounding the table, and how will this benefit the Raiders by leaving their training camp in Henderson, Nevada?
I believe
same shit. Sorry. Illinois, not Illinois.
That's because it's silent. But
sorry, I'm just naming all the states people.
I'll be honest. I think Dick Vermeil was the one that said it, that he used to love going away for training camp because it brings team unity. It gets a team together. You're out in hotels. You're not in your bed after practice or whatever. Or after it's over, you're all basically hanging out and getting to chat with each other and talk to each other. You're not going home or going out to the club with your friends or this or that. Like, you're kind of a tight-knit group and you're kind of all going through the same thing. So I don't know if that's a part of the game anymore, because obviously the game has changed completely. But I think team unity still matters, and I feel like that's something that teams need to start doing, kind of going away, going other places. And obviously the Saints know that they have a following in Southern California. They saw it when they've done these joint practices with the Chargers in the past, where they have a lot of fans there. I remember a couple of years ago, Gilbert, I think you were still there. Remember the Drew Brees was signing autographs and the fence collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. Honestly, I'm a component of somebody should come out to San Diego and do training camp out here. Like, I think the more people come out here, I think it'd be badass. But obviously, I think it helps with team unity. I think it kind of helps you get away from all the. And I know this sounds messed up, but you kind of get away from all the, like, the wives, the kids, the family members of this, of that. You kind of go out, and it's only your brothers that you're with, or your teammates, whatever you want to call them. But I definitely think that that's awesome, and you kind of get away, and you kind of do your own thing. Plus, it helps with the brand. I know you get to go to other cities, and I know the Raiders don't need more. I mean, obviously they're going to want more, but you don't need more publicity for the Raiders or the Raiders. But I'm saying, like, you could go put your stamp somewhere else. Like, can you imagine that little kid that, I mean, who knows? Let's just say that the Chargers decided to go to like Wyoming or something. I'm just throwing it out there. But for little kids to be like, oh my God, let's go watch Justin Herbert at practice today. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then you get to see him and all that stuff. So I just think it sometimes helps create fans as well. So in just my 2 cents, I think team unity, you plant your flag somewhere else. And obviously, I think it's separate. It leaves all the stuff that you have to think about and all that. It's kind of a way you got to just focus on getting better and obviously playing. But that's just kind of my 2 cents. I can't wait to have all 5 teams in Southern California. I think it's going to be awesome. I think, like I said, a 6th team should add San Diego and really just hit the trifecta. There's a lot of places out here, so I would say somewhere like Wyoming or something, or maybe Austin, Texas. No, Austin, Texas is too
San
hot.
Diego.
But you know what? We talked about that in the car, but they should go. Like, I'd love to see them go somewhere like that. I feel like the Rams, just because of Sean McVay, would probably do Santa Barbara, so he could go hang out shirtless and do all the things. So, but yeah, I definitely see.
And the Chargers to San Luis Obispo, go Central California.
Well, there you go. But
all right, Gilbert, do you wanna add a little bit, or do you want me to ask you the next question?
Not really, but I'll just say I think Fernando wants to recreate remember the Titans for every team in the NFL during the summer.
Heck yeah, everywhere we go, people wanna know.
It just looks like it's Antonio Pierce kind of putting in his stamp that, hey, we want more, we want to get out of here because he was a former player. But
I think it was more Tom Telesco saying, let's go back to where it was, and Pierce saying, all right, F it.
All right, Gilbert. This weekend we saw both Canelo Alvarez as a Noya Ayune. Is that how you say it?
Inoue,
with impressive wins. So, where do they stand on your pound for pound list? And can you give us an updated either top 5 or top 10 list?
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't put it Inoue or Canelo Alvarez. Well, I'll give you multiple reasons. Inoue got dropped today. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with getting dropped. He came off the canvas. It's not the second. Like, to me, it might be a little hot take. I think an hour is a little overrated. I think people just hear word of mouth like this guy's a monster. He's really good. Don't actually watch him fight. He's in a smaller division, but like he got rocked pretty good by Nonito Donaire like a few years ago in his prime, and he's still in his prime. And he got dropped by Luis Neri today. But hey, I'll give him credit. He got off the canvas, picked the guy apart. Maybe his chin's a little suspect. And like it's kind of like David Haney, but now it has power, so he's able to recover. And he's also like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't have the best chin, but he's resilient and he gets up, picks you apart. So I'll keep Inoue because he passes the eye test. It's top 5. He ain't my pound for pound, that's for sure. I'll keep him top 5. Canelo, I still really like what he's doing, even in the back end of his prime. But I saw what happened with Bivol. Obviously, we saw what happened to Mayweather. Different scenarios. He went up in weight class with Bivol. Mayweather wasn't. Mayweather was just in his prime, and Canelo was still coming up. So I still kind of think about that, more about Bivol. So I'll keep him like number 4. I can't think of a third. You know what? F it. I don't care. Other people give him credit. Tank Davis would be number 3. For some reason, he doesn't go on top 10 people's list. Like this guy's just crushing everybody. And they're all talking about Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. None of those guys are on Tank Davis' level. So give him number 3. Number 2, Alexander Usyk, undisputed at cruiserweight, 3-belt champion at heavyweight. If he beats Tyson Fury on May 18th, I can't wait for that fight. I think in Saudi Arabia. Then for sure, like he's gonna make my case better. Number 2, and then number 1, Terence Crawford passes the eye test, has power, undisputed at junior welterweight, undisputed at welterweight, made Errol Spence Jr. look like a regular fighter. When you do that to one of the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world at the time, you've done a lot. So give me Crawford number 1.
All right, I like that. You want to chime in here, Fernando? I'll get to Minzy's question. I'll add it to your next question that I have for you. But do you want to chime in terms of Gilbert's top 5 there?
If the Raiders head back to Costa Mesa and Tom Telesco's in his old office, this would be him.
I will never be happy than I am right now. I will also never be less happy. I will be at my current maximum happiness for the rest of my life.
You've been waiting all day to make that joke.
No, I agree with Gilbert's list. I mean, okay, my bad. I was looking for the video. Did you have Tyson Fury on there?
No.
I'm a little worried about Tyson Fury.
I think Usyk might beat him.
I think so too. I haven't liked lately what he's been doing. I know Ngannou obviously was something different, like he was fat and everything. I just didn't like it. So yeah, I agree with Gilbert's list. I think Tank is a tank. Did you put Ryan Garcia on there or no?
No, I put Tank number 3.
You're terrible. No, I'm kidding. No, I agree with Gilbert's list.
All right, Fernando, and I'll ask Mincy's question right after, once you're done answering this one. Last year after Backlash in Puerto Rico, Damian Priest became a breakout star for WWE. Is Tiffany Stratton the breakout coming out of Backlash in France, or is it someone else for you, Gilbert? I mean, for you, Fernando, sorry.
I thought Tiffany Stratton, where she really broke free, was down under in Australia. When they put her right away. They put her in the elimination chamber, and I was really impressed with her, and I was impressed with the way the crowd just gravitated towards her. I thought she did incredible on Backlash, and to answer Mimsy questions at the same time, I'm disappointed that WWE does not have her as the Queen of the Ring component, or I don't like that she's not in the Queen of the Ring. I think I just saw she's not on it. I'm a little disappointed by that because I think she would kill it in that role. And I think they're going to try and push Zoe Stark, though, Mimsy. I'm going to be honest. I think either her or Valkyria is going to be the winner. They might push an NXT star, but I think Tiffany Stratton's on her way. I told Dan and Dago and Little Daniel in our group chat, I'm like, I think she's a superstar. I think by this time at WrestleMania next year, she'll have the championship. I think she's that big of a star. She's only 25 years old. And I really think that she has a lot of the factors. And I was telling Gilbert when we were driving, Mike, you can tell she was a gymnast before because the way she moves around, the way she does that, the way she moves around, the way she does things, you could totally tell she was a gymnast before. But I'm a little disappointed that she's not in the Queen of the Ring. But I think she is an up and comer.
When is that, anyways?
That's I think it's a pay-per-view at the end of May. So it'll be on Zikok on May 25th, I think.
They used to do it all the
9 a.m.
time. The King of the Ring.
Yeah. Stone Cold won it. Other people
The
have
best
won it
promo ever, and Dan will like this. King of the Ring, 1996. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Did I get the year right? Or 97?
I think it was 97. But yeah, you got it right. I think Tiffany Stratton though should win, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I think in Toronto she should win the Money in the Bank. I think she would be incredible for that, and you can wait till next WrestleMania if you want, but I think she should win the championship. Going to real quick to Mimsy's other one, King of the Ring. Let me just look at it real quick. I'll say it's gonna be. I don't want it to be Gunter just because I think he should focus on something else. But I'll say it's Gunter. I think either kind of to get him over that because it looks like they're moving him to babyface. So I'll go with Gunter on that one.
There we go. All right, Gilbert. The next one's for you here. You and Fernando were at the Gilberto and Benavidez presser as both fighters are the co-main event for the June 15th card taking place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Will having co-fighters be part of the way to sell pay-per-view fights and boxing going forward? And how many fighters right now, Gilbert, can sell a pay-per-view fight in boxing right now?
To answer the second part, Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and like I'm answering as by themselves, not matchup. By themselves, doesn't matter who the hell they're fighting. Is by themselves.
Exactly, that's the question.
Those are the three to me. I think nobody else can sell. No.
Really?
So. Not in America. I think
coming to America.
I know you can. In the UK for sure. Him and Joshua and him will definitely.
No, but that's what we're talking about. Or you're just talking about Vegas.
If Tyson Fury is fighting some Joe Schmo in Las Vegas on ESPN, I'm not paying for that. People aren't paying for that. You're paying for Ryan Garcia. You're paying for Tank Davis. You're paying for Canelo. And if Tyson Fury is fighting Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, we're gonna pay for that crap. But I'm talking about standalone power. Those are the three guys only. Maybe I'm missing somebody. I don't think so. But those are probably the three for me. And remind me again for the first part, Victor.
Is going main event fighters, like putting them together, the way to kind of sell fights going forward.
I actually am for the first time in a long time feeling some positivity about undercards for boxing, because part of me was like, well, why is David Benavidez on the undercard of Tank Davis? Like, don't we need to make him the star for Canelo? But when you get on a card with Tank Davis, you saw all the cameras in front of Tank Davis, Fernando. People are gonna watch that fight. And if you see David Benavidez in the co-main event, people might be drinking and having fun because that's what people do for boxing. The co-main event is on, not for David Benavidez. Maybe you watch and you say, that kid, I want to remember the name. Even Tank was like, you know what? I watched David Benavidez fight not too long ago against Caleb Plants. He's that guy. I had no idea. So you want to do that.
He was hyping him up.
Yeah, to build him up because he's a monster like that. It's just, I think boxing has a reputation of like nobody pays attention until the main event, so that could maybe hurt him. But look at Munguia. I was surprised Munguia, all the attention and the respect he got because he was in a fight with Canelo. His profile just got bigger because of that. So, that's a good idea for that point. And now we're seeing Saudi Arabia with all the money that they have coming to make noise in the United States. Good video right there. Saudi. I don't want to butcher the name. Fernando, you said the name earlier. Saudi Arabia promoter. He talked to Mike Coppinger of ESPN and said he wants to make all these fights with heavy undercards. Get a fight with Tank Davis and Canelo on the same night. How about that? We got that video, two of them being together in the locker room. So, hey, if Saudi was to come to the United States and make the great undercards, I'm all for it. Check out the content of Compas on the Beat, YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
And Instagram.
All right, guys, before we go here, in terms of this will be my last question. I don't know if you guys saw what happened with Patrick Beverly, in his actions in the locker room on Thursday night. But should we start asking people if they're subscribed to our pod here before we answer their questions? What do you guys think about that? The video's on there, Fernando, if you wanna share it in terms of what Patrick Beverly did and a scrum.
There, it's stupid.
If not, it's cool. Like
no, I'm getting it. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While we wait there,
I guess at the scene, Pat Beverly didn't want to talk to an ESPN producer because he didn't subscribe to his podcast. This guy's an idiot.
You subscribe to my pod?
Why subscribe to? I do not.
So I do interview me then. No disrespect.
Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe.
Oh my.
Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop?
So my question to you guys, and this is for both of you guys. Have you guys been in an awkward, scrum before? And if you want to talk about it, you can. I can tell you guys about my experience one time. Mine was kind of funny, but if you guys don't, that's totally cool. But have you been in an awkward scrum? And if you want to talk about it, you can.
I've been in plenty. I just can't really remember. The one I always go to is when Philip Rivers got mad at me. I've got many coaches mad at me too, but I never feel too bad about it. But nobody's ever told me like, "Hey, subscribe to my pod. If you don't, get the hell out of here." And it's like,
well, you better get used to it. That's
actually it could be the standard, but like, you're Pat Beverly. You're not freaking LeBron James. Who the hell needs you, Pat Beverly?
Yeah.
Like, you're not that guy. Like, come on, you're not that guy.
You better learn Chinese.
Like, and I don't even think your podcast that popular. You're not like a Michael Parsons and CJ Stroud.
No, well, the thing is, he talks shit, so people like that. Like he gets.
Where are your credentials to talk shit or crap? Because you're just a random player, like who just gets in people's faces. Like nobody cares, and like it's not 2018 anymore. You're not gonna be like a good defensive player for a long time. Like, shut up. You're gonna regret it when you want to get a job on ESPN to be an analyst. But whatever.
No, well, he was, and they already took him down.
Yeah,
he was already on there.
Yeah,
he's no longer going to be in any part of ESPN. So they
pretty much my point has been proven. He's idiot.
I love ESPN's twist though. She's a great producer. This, that, like those people were told to do that. But, so what was your initial question? Like,
I was just making fun of it. Like,
because I was gonna say, like, I mean, I've had players like get mad at me. I've been the opening. One of my questions was the opening, like to Undisputed and First Take and all that stuff. And
and that's an awkward moment that you want to talk about.
But other than that, like, I mean, no, I mean, this year I had Alohi Gilman get pissed at me after a game. So I don't know. I just I mean, it doesn't faze me because I've never been asked that. But I'm being honest, Gilbert. I think we're headed that way, to be completely honest. Like, you and I were both there when we were told that a certain player doesn't speak to the media, and that they said, "Oh, well, he has a pod. You can listen to that." So, and I know the player's big time and everything, but in their contract it says they have to speak to us. Like, and I'm talking about the NFL. Like that's where I kind of would no, Mimsy. Like it was the way I phrased the question that I don't think he understood, and obviously it was the heated moment, but it wasn't anything bad or anything. Like him and I, like at the end of the season, we're like, "Oh, hey, good luck with everything," blah blah blah. That was it. So no, I just meant like this season because that's the first thing that came to my mind. But I mean, I've had Philip get mad at me with one of my questions. I've had other people not like my questions, but there's always that level of respect. I think he took it a whole different route, and I don't agree with it. But at the same time, I think that's the route that we're headed, and I don't like that route because, like, let's just say that Dan Diego was the athlete, and I'm on the pod with him. I'm not going to ask him any tough questions. Why? Because he's my brother, and I don't want to put him in that position.
Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like NFL teams and NBA teams and everybody should rein it in a little bit and be like, hey, you guys might have pods, but you guys still need to answer media questions. You guys still need to do this stuff. So I'm just being completely honest. But Gilbert, I do believe that that's the route that we're headed, where players are going to start saying, well, just listen to my pod. It's all there. And I think that is going to be terrible because what if the pod comes out on Wednesday? Like, so
that's the thing. Like, I know we got to get going, but like, reporters also can be like, we also can be like dicks about it. Like, oh, like, we got to build a relationship with players and make them feel like you could use us. You need us too. Obviously, we know that you don't need us either. You got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got YouTube, but there's different kind of levels of, I guess, conversation. Like there's reporter and player questions. You get a lot from that, and maybe the questions you're getting from a reporter bring out a different side of you as an athlete that you won't get in a podcast with a bunch of yes men. Like it's all different. So once you figure out a balance where, hey, you need us, we need you, Let's get along. We'll make it work. But what Pat was doing is like trying to maybe plug his podcast, but he came out like a dick. And then he had to overdo it with the
That's how he is.
Move the mic. I get the whole bit.
Yeah.
But then the whole mic thing, you're doing it to a woman, like you messed up. And somebody from ESPN, you definitely messed up. So
yeah, no, he was terrible. But like,
but real quick, I feel bad for the beat reporters who've covered the team for the whole year, and they got the same crap, and nobody gave a crap about them when it happened to them. What's going on over there for the beat reporters? I feel bad.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The one thing is though, is that and that's the thing. After a loss or a win, no matter what, you should talk to the media. No matter that's why I've always.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. That's raw emotion, actual interviews.
And again, I'm going with this because this is who I cover. I mean, I've spoken to other athletes and stuff like that, but like Derwin James has always, no matter what, they've been blown out, and Derwin will stand there and be like he'll tell me, Nando, I got you in a second. Don't trip, Nando. Don't go anywhere. Like one time. Derwin even waited for me to go and I was interviewing, I think, Keenan, and Derwin waited for me to come over and he answered my question. So like players like those guys, I give a lot of respect to because they could just like go out through the side gate or the side door. Like when they used to be in San Diego, there was a second door, Gilbert. So players used to go and sneak there. And guess where Fernando was? Fernando was near the other second door, sometimes waiting to see when a player would walk by, and I'd walk with them to their car while I was interviewing them. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where there has to be an understanding between the player and the media member. And I think when there is that, it's a fine. But I'm telling you, we're headed that route. And look at the route. And I don't mean to bash journalism right now, but there's lines that are being crossed that I hate. So I'm just I'm starting to turn into that grumpy old guy.
Get off my lawn, guy.
Yeah, protect journalism. Don't let.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, and I was just gonna say about when I
Wow.
first got out of school after season. I think my first year, I got to go cover Cholos versus Galaxy.
Holy crap!
And I was in a scrum, and
he just got fired, by the way.
Who did?
El Piojo Herrera.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been relevant since he was with
San Diego
America.
FC's manager. Let's do it.
Oh, that would be a good get. But I was just gonna say, like, I was in a scrum with a player, an Argentinian guy he was playing for America, and somebody I had asked him about Landon Donovan, and he wasn't happy about the question, which was fine, and I was okay with it, hey, I'm fresh out of school, so I asked him a question. But what was the thing that was funny to me was that right after we finished, I go to the bathroom because I really needed to go pee. And who do I run into right after? It's the player from America who had just gotten upset with the question I asked, and he looks at me. He's like, "What's going on, man?" I was like, "It's just weird." Like, but it happens, man. Like stuff like that happens, and you kind of just laugh it off, man.
I think they're fine after like the scrum's over. Like I've never really seen a player really go at a media member. I can't remember one, Gilbert, where I think as soon as the media scrum's over,
I've seen the video of Ryan Leaf and a reporter, but
yeah.
That was a long. Yeah, you know what? One day we should get. Well, might be a little bit crazy. We should get Bernie Wilson on. I need to introduce you to him, Gilbert. He's like old school. He was there that day with Ryan Leaf. Like he wasn't the reporter. He was right there, and he turns to Ryan and he's like, "Hey, how about you calm the F down?" And that Ryan got in his face, and yeah, it's
bring on Ryan Leaf too. Why not? Get them both on.
We had Ryan Leaf on. Mimsy, I will not make a TikTok with players. I do not do TikToks. I was asked recently, hey, do you want to do a TikTok dance? No, I don't. I'm good. Thank you. I will not do a TikTok dance. I was
going to ask to do one with me, but whatever.
I've never seen you do one, so I don't think you would ever do one. That's not in your.
I don't count like me talking about sports as a TikTok.
No. She said
like making a joke.
Make a TikTok with the players. Oh, okay, yeah, it could be one of those dances or. Yeah. All right. But everybody, make sure you guys check out everything on Compas on the Beat Network. Make sure you guys follow on Instagram. Make sure you guys hit the notification on YouTube so that as soon as we drop something, you guys will be the first to know. make sure you guys check out everything else on Compas on the Beat Network. Make sure you guys subscribe to the newsletter. Make sure you are up to date on all of it. And then obviously check out everything we're doing. Again, we appreciate all the love, all the new subscribers, all the new followers. So definitely make sure you guys are on the lookout for everything that we're doing. It'll be kind of a boring time for a little bit, then it all gets kicked back off with some fights obviously coming up in June or late May. June's packed, so make sure you guys check it out. And then obviously with 5 teams down for training camp, I told Gilbert we should try and hit all 5 teams in 2 days or whatever. So that would definitely be fun to go check out all those training camps. But with 5 teams now here, Gilbert's job gets a lot easier, obviously, with where he has to go and everything. But again, thank you guys so much for checking it out. Delbert, thank you so much. He put funny show. Mimsy as well. Sorry, Vic. Thank you, Mimsy. Also, you guys were awesome. Again, there was no Dan and Dago, but we all picked up the slack and we made up for it. So everybody just please be a compa, tell a compa, let everybody know. Jorge comes in at the end.
He doesn't watch anymore when you tell him that Dan's not going to be on.
Is that true, Jorge? Did you not comment at all because there's no Dan? I'm wondering if that's true. But
yeah, again, he's on a 2-week bye.
Yeah, I wonder.
So is Jorge apparently.
Yeah, I wonder if Jorge's on a 2-week bye now. But again, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything. And again, we will be back next week with another Lunes live. And obviously we'll be talking all things schedule and what are some of the games that we got circled. He said not true. I just hopped on. But again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. And but for the time being, Gilbert, sabes que vámonos.
Yeah, before we do, I just want to again say thank you to all support. Thank you to you guys too and your hard work. And it was a fun week of milestones. You know, we got House of Horns to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. We appreciate everybody for that. You know, seeing how IG blew up overnight. Like, we're not kidding. Like, we're like, oh, we'll get to 1,000 today. It's awesome. We wake up the next day, it's almost at 8,000 followers on Instagram. So follow at Compas on the Beat. Obviously, you know, we got a lot of support here on the YouTube channel, Compas on the Beat. You know, almost to 8,000 subscribers. That's pretty wild to think of. And obviously we see all the numbers and the support on What's Up Boats. You know, a lot of people watch Compas on the Beat and also watch What's Up Boats, and seeing how people interact with Jeff and Dan and Fernando. Like, we're doing a lot of stuff here on the network, so it's pretty cool. Credentialed for UFC, WrestleMania, and boxing. Hey, we're making it happen from 2021, where Fernando was like, hey, you want to do this podcast? I'm like, sure, why not? And here we are, growing with Dan and Victor. So pretty cool to do that. And one final thing, don't forget to subscribe to the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Go to compasonthebeat.com. Home screen, shiny gold box will appear. It's still a work in progress for the website, but just subscribe to the newsletter. Put in your email in the gold box right there. And we'll keep growing and growing with the newsletter, like we did the IG, like we did all the YouTube channels. So on that note, Fernando, Victor, I think we're ready to go, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if people don't subscribe to the newsletter, maybe we shouldn't allow them to answer their question. What do you guys? We
got to do like a giveaway eventually to grow the Compas on the Beat newsletter.
But yes,
by the way, we're gonna try and get Jeff on a lot more, Jorge. I was kind of talking to him
be a
about
regular.
That, so. Yeah, Jeff is just the thing is, the energy between Jeff and Dan is just the funniest thing in the world. So we're gonna try and get Jeff on a little bit more. But yeah, maybe we do something, Gilbert, with Jeff and some of the other reporters at one of the Chargers training camps out there
during training camp.
Yeah, we have the gear now, and we have experience to do it remote.
Yeah, no, and yeah, no. So it'd be sick to kind of get some of those guys, on, and then obviously make friends with, and then we know Raiders beat reporters, so we'll maybe do one with the Raiders. We only know one Cowboys guy. We know. Oh no, I don't want. Oh no, we have some Rams people, and then obviously Saints will make new friends. So So there you go. But yeah, we'll definitely cover it all. But Gilbert, yeah, let's go get us out of here.
All right. Yeah. Again, appreciate all the work, Fernando. You were on fumes today, but you gave it your best effort. We really appreciate that. No, it's not here. And then we appreciate your effort from home because I know you've been busting your thumbs to help post content. So I'm always mean to you, but not right now. It's all support here, all four of us. So thank you.
If he jumped on right now, would you stay another 30 minutes to talk to him?
No way in hell. I don't. I like the guy, but I don't love him. And I do love him. Just kidding. But it's time to go. On that note, nos vamos. Thank you, Mimsy. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Dober. Appreciate all the support.
Yes, we would do a live show, Mimsy.
And we will put that on audio for, was it Ivan? We saw the note. Ivan, thank you. But time to go. On that note, nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.